that guy.
All right, it is the Auto Trader pregame getting you set for the Blazers and Rockets. Another Texas team we'll talk about here is the Dallas Mavericks. And look how good Luka Dončić has been this season so far in the NBA. And recently he chatted with Allie the Horse.
You don't play like a 20-year-old. Do you feel like you're 20, or how old do you feel?
I don't know. I feel like 20.
Playing in the NBA one full year last year, after that, what did you realize needed to change in your routine, and what did you focus on this summer?
Especially my body, take care of my body. I've been doing that, not great, but way better than the first season, and that was really a good change for me.
What are some examples of things that you changed?
My diet, going to the weight room more. Especially those two things were the key.
If somebody said to you, this really surprised me about the NBA, what was it?
I would say the amount of flights and the amount of games. It's everybody knows. It's 82, but until you don't play it, you don't realize how hard it is. And even if you go to the playoffs, it's even harder.
What has been the best thing that Coach Carlisle has taught you?
He taught me a lot of things. He's a great coach. He obviously won championships, and he knows how to lead a team. And I think he helped us all.
So when Coach Carlisle, I was reading some articles where he's giving you every compliment he possibly can. But the one I thought was neat is he said, "I wouldn't trade him for anybody, and I would pay to watch him play."
That was special, But you never know. Those words were something special, not to trade for anybody, because you know how many great players are out there. They were just a special message there, right?
Do you feel like it's your team or our team, or how would you describe?
I feel like a team has more leaders than just one. Obviously there's me and KP, but we have some vets like Silly, Corny, JJ, of course, and they help us way more than we could help.
How would you describe the way you felt the first time you and KP were on the floor together?
Oh, it was great. He's obviously just getting his rhythm. He's been off the court a long time. He's getting better and better, and he just needs time, and he's gonna be a great basketball player.
Do you guys talk a lot with words on the court, or is it more body language? How would you describe the way you communicate?
I would say with words. Obviously, when I know the defenders don't speak Spanish, we speak Spanish between each other, and tell us what we're gonna do so they don't understand us.
What's been your favorite moment with KP so far this season on the court?
I don't know, probably some alley-oops, some passes.
Who's been the most exciting player that you've gotten to play against?
LeBron James. I always admired him since I was little, so that's him.
What was different about playing against him other than watching him play? Was he faster and stronger or smarter? Was there anything that surprised you playing against him instead of watching?
He's one of the greatest, so I watched that. When I play against him, he did that. So he obviously, for me, didn't change the way he played. He always played amazing.
I think you're a guy who sees big picture, and you want the best things for your team and your organization. People talk about you being in the MVP conversation. What does that mean to you, and what's the big goal that you have in mind?
Like I always say, it's special to hear it, but obviously I just want my team into the playoffs. That's our goal, that's my goal. And I've been talking to JJ. He said playing in the playoffs is so much fun, and that's what I want to do.
Luka Dončić and Kristaps Porzingis. Dallas Mavericks take on San Antonio for the first time this season. Dallas right now 7-5, and a good opportunity here to pick up some wins after beating Toronto. They've got San Antonio tonight, who's reeling. Then they've got Golden State and Cleveland here. What's impressed you most about this pairing the first month?
The pairing, it's been great to see Porzingis look healthy again and look like he might be able to return to the player we remember a couple years ago. But Luka's been incredible. Outside of Giannis, Harden, and LeBron, this kid's got to be up there in the MVP race.
Yeah, hella Luka, baby. He's out there running around doing stuff. I don't think Porzingis has played well yet. Porzingis has not caught a rhythm at all. when he reverse pivots and they put smaller bodies on him, they get up underneath him. He's got no balance down the post to be able to get low, turn around, face up, get him off you, rip, use that length. He's got to be able to use that length. I've seen Rick throw him down there. Coach Carlisle's thrown him down there in the post late in games, and he's really struggled down there. So he hasn't found a rhythm at all yet. Porzingis hasn't. And you got to remember, he didn't play last year.
That's right.
So and he's a young player too. It's going to take a while, but when he comes around, you can't say anything more about Dončić. He's playing as well as you can play. That kid's playing phenomenal. Porzingis is the guy that's going to take this team from a maybe playoff team to a solid playoff team if he plays better. But he has not got a rhythm. I don't know if he knows where he's going to get the ball yet, and I don't think he's playing well enough to demand it. So it's just, Rick Carlisle will figure it out. But Porzingis is hopefully starting now will start playing better.
Obligatory former Celtic teammate mentioned here by MChale.
Of course.
There. Let's talk about the opponent tonight, the San Antonio Spurs, and this is uncharted territory for them here. They've lost 5 in a row, and it's been head-scratching how they're losing games. This team that's been known for however they play offensively, they've always been at least tied to a defensive principle, and we know who they are, their identity. What have you seen from the numbers and video you studied from San Antonio?
Well, the two things that jump out with the Spurs, you mentioned the defense. It's not been what it's been historically, but this Spurs team struggled defensively last year, especially until they moved Jakob Poeltl into the starting lineup, and that kind of helped them defensively last year at least. But the other thing that's concerning about this Spurs team right now is their strength of schedule. They've had one of the easiest schedules to date in the NBA, and they just haven't been able to take advantage of that schedule.
I've always been amazed with some of the players they have that they can collectively play good team defense because they have some individual defenders. They had Anderson there. They had Aldridge. They had a bunch of guys that were bad individual defenders, but collectively they've always been solid. Pops hasn't got that collective thing going yet down there.
They don't.
They don't have great individual parts. Sometimes, you know what? You can get by defensively when you have great defenders. You put them on their top players. They're really smart. We talked about IQ earlier. They get in the right position. They do all these things, and they cover up for so many sins. Right now, San Antonio has not got those sins covered up. They're too porous defensively. They've given up everything. Giving up threes, giving up layups, fouling. It's just unlike a Pops defensive team.
The clock is ticking loud. Under a month ago until the unofficial start of trade season in the NBA, and the Spurs could be one of those teams that's potentially very busy. You know who's been busy on the desk? Kevin McHale, promoting good oral hygiene here. I promise you. He's got not only a cell phone, but he's also got himself a flosser at all times with him.
And I do. Oral hygiene is very important. There it is, right there.
Why do you have a piece of food in your teeth?
Yeah.
We're back with much more Auto Trader pregame. Rockets Blazers, 8 o'clock Eastern on NBA TV. We're back on Game Time Live, getting you set for Blazers Rockets on NBA TV at 8 Eastern. But the big breaking news story, as reported by ESPN, is that Kawhi Leonard is going to miss his 3rd straight game tonight with a left knee injury. It'll be the 5th game he misses this season. He has yet to play a game with Paul George. And when Kawhi does not play, the Clippers are 1-3. So let's bring back in Kevin McHale, Wes Wilcox, Jared Greenberg with you here just to get some thoughts, Wes, on what maybe, we made a big deal of this load management thing, but truly it looks like there was some substance behind it that the Clippers were trying to protect him from what might be a significant injury.
Yeah, no, there's a clear difference between load management and just injury management. And oftentimes an organization may want to protect the player. And so what is shared publicly may be, just a little more towards protecting the player than sharing all of the medical information. And I'll also say, watching him play these last couple of games, Toronto, he really struggled. We know Toronto double-teamed him. Toronto had a great game plan going up against him. But then Houston, when the Clippers played in Houston, Kawhi's last game, the team struggled. The Clippers really struggled in that game, and Kawhi just didn't look himself. So it sounds like there's a real injury here.
Yeah, I thought the Toronto game, he had 9 turnovers, but that was mostly they just ran at him and took the ball out of his hand. The next game, he didn't have the typical Kawhi juice. He always plays at a very, very a pace that he wants to play at. He only goes as fast as he needs to go. But yeah, he didn't look quite right. And right now is the time. early in the season. Paul George just came back. If Kawhi needs some time, give him some time now, because that team is built for next April, May, and June. That's right. What they're looking at. So give him a little bit of time right now, but I hate to see the guy get injured just because he's such a dynamic player, and he's had such bad luck. You know, remember 2 years ago, he didn't play at all.
Yeah, 9 games.
Yeah, that's not playing at all.
Yep.
That's just
I'm sorry. I thought I was agreeing with you.
No, that's not playing at all. 9 games out of 82 is not enough. But then last year, of course, he played 62 or 60 of the 82. So you just want to see him get healthy.
For sure.
Tonight, the Clippers have OKC, which is a game you say, okay, we should be okay without Kawhi, but it gets significantly more challenging as the week goes on. Wednesday night, the Clippers home for the Celtics, and then Friday, home for the Rockets. So we'll see and monitor and see what maybe Doc Rivers has to say prior to tonight's game. Again, Kawhi Leonard, according to ESPN, will miss his 3rd straight game with a left knee contusion. From that, we ask you to check out the top plays on NBA.com/video for your daily and weekly top plays. Now here's the top 10 plays from Week 4 in the NBA.
Trez up high, blocked by Boucher. Clippers can still restore the...
I like what you're saying. Oh my goodness, Ja Morant. Oh my goodness, how do you do? What did we just see?
How did he do that?
Harden lob for Chandler! Exclamation point!
Seven. Good outside the switch. Dončić goes, oh, what a great start! And then he hammers it home! Broke his ankles and pounds it for 2. What a play!
And how about the finish?
Morant down the lane, lays it up, and in! Holy cow! With 7/10 of a second, Ja Morant!
Jokic putting it on the deck against Towns. Wild shot by Jokic. Oh, are you kidding? Wow.
2.4.
Wow. Jokic throwing up a wild shot.
He threw that between Rubio's legs. Little nutmeg and 5 quick points, and looking to make it 6 with the and 1. Wow. That's all I got to say is wow.
They give it to Washington. Graham goes back door. Graham puts up a 3. Oh, it's good. It's good. And Charlotte takes the lead with 2.1 remaining. You shoot 38% from downtown. Here comes LBJ. Look out.
Oh, the crowd on their feet. That's what they came to see. If nothing else happens, they're happy now.
Monk fires. It's good. It's official. Malik Monk, how do you do?
From the top 10 plays of last week to a man very capable of starting off this week with a top play. Damian Lillard and the Blazers looking to win consecutive games for just the 2nd time this season. You'll see Portland at Houston coming up at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on NBA TV.